Over the span of time, bodybuilding has seen new horizons, some worse than others, but you know what they say, old is gold, and when we look back in the past, we had some insane physiques, and we're going to go very deep into them. That sounded crazy. What I mean is that we're going to analyze the past, and we're going to analyze the present,
and we're going to compare. Sounds pretty cool. Alright, let's get into it. So, starting in 1965, the first ever Mr. Olympia, Larry Scott, famously known for his arms, actually. They're really nice and hunky. We look at this guy, and what do we see? Standing at 5'7", 93 kilograms on the stage, he was built. He was just absolutely shredded down to the bone, like all Mr. Olympias should be. I don't see any gut, no big belly coming out, no signs of, well, insulin being abused here. Just good old-fashioned muscle. And he is also aesthetically pleasing to look at. Not in a gay way, but in, bodybuilding standards. Later on down the timeline, I'm going to be skipping a few because I don't want this video to be super long. Obviously we go past Arnold, and then we go past Franco Colombo. Not to forget, by the way, Sergio Oliva. He actually came before Arnold. He won in 1967 and all the way up until 1969, I believe. 1984, Lee Haney. This guy was not only pretty aesthetic, but he was also flipping massive. Famously known for, well, being 8 times Mr. Olympia. He also advocated for training abs and calves every other day. He would always talk about how calves are a stubborn muscle, so we need to train them harder and harder, more frequently. He was a very, very iconic one. And I don't really know if you will agree, but I don't hear that much media about him compared to the others. I mean, when you think of bodybuilding, I'm going to assume if you're a normal person, you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. But you're not going to hear about Lee Haney that much. You'll probably even hear more about Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman. But no, not this guy who won a load of Mr. Olympias. Moving on, later down the line. Now the mass monsters start to appear.
You're only as good as the people that in a sport. You're only as good as the people you're competing against.
Coming from Great Britain, well, England, my home, we have Dorian Yates. This guy absolutely changed the game, like literally. I'm pretty sure due to, well, him and the rise of all the massive guys. Open bodybuilding became, well, its own separate division along with the two others. You had classic physique and then men's physique. So, when it comes to Dorian Yates, this guy was like the real deal. He used Mike Mentz's philosophy and, well, was a big advocate for Arthur Jones. He would usually insist that one set was enough, but let's go over that thoroughly. He would do 3 sets. First 2 were sort of a form of warm-up. The third set was the set that he'd last until failure. If you watch the Blood and Guts documentary, you'll see when he's doing chest and bicep, he does it in the form of a pyramid. So he adds on more weight each set. And following with his career, he then won 6 Mr. Olympia titles. Following on with the rise of the big boys, we're going to look at Mamdouh El-Sbai. I think I butchered his name. I'm extremely sorry if I just did. But this guy was gigantic. I mean, if you take a look at him, he looks a lot more different compared to the old bodybuilders. Now, this is where a debate starts to form. What actually is bodybuilding? Is it just about chucking on a bunch of muscle and, ignoring the fact that we have to sculpt our body? Or is it about sculpting the body and not putting on that much muscle? Well, let's see. It is preference, but I think bodybuilding should always be more about an art than it is just about chucking on a bunch of muscle. You know, here's the thing, when we look at people such as Larry Scott, even Steve Reeves, and that goes before the Mr. Olympia. I know he didn't compete, but even so, those physiques that were aesthetically pleasing to look at is what I believe bodybuilding should be. And yes, I know we're not really about that anymore. People are just enjoying the fact that they can shove in a ton of muscle, but the way I think it should be approached is through how it was done in the 70s, 80s and 70s. But then again, like I said, it is just my opinion. This is just for people who are probably going to agree with me. I in no way or shape think that this is nice. The truth is that when it comes to an aesthetic physique, you don't really want your legs to be outweighing your top half that much. Don't get me wrong, legs should still be nice and big, but your top half should be even bigger. I think it just looks so unhealthy, and it doesn't even look remotely normal. But, you know, the days of the golden era are obviously going to flop, and people are going to forget what bodybuilding actually was, because now they're going to look up to this. But I do love the 90s. Don't get me wrong, I actually do like it. I like Lee Priest, I like Dorian Yates, I like Kevin Levrone, but there were just some shots, like for example with Ronnie Coleman, where his guts just hanging out, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? This isn't what bodybuilding's supposed to be. Your gut's not supposed to be hanging out like that. And obviously it's because of too much steroids. But there's just some things I look at and I think, it's not even nice. There's a degree of proportion in which you should have muscle and shape. And it's like we're forgetting about shape nowadays. We're just trying to shove on a bunch of muscle. It's not how it should be. If I could start a revolution, take it back to the golden era, yeah, sure. But unfortunately I can't, so all I can really do is speak about this. We shouldn't idolise this, and we shouldn't idolise the shitty food and diet that they also have as well. No offence to Sam, but I don't recommend drinking, a litre or more of chocolate?
Quart of chocolate milk.
And
it's clearly empty.
Having this for breakfast, I don't recommend this at all. We should bring back... Sure, you know what? They're still going to use roids, but we can at least eat the correct food and do the right things just for the sake of putting on better muscle or like a better show at least. Nowadays, it just all looks a bit horrible. I lived a hard life. If you feel like flaming my opinion in the comments, sure, go ahead. I'll probably read it, have a good chuckle, and I'll get back on with my life. But if you actually agree that we should have this instead of this, please spread the word. You know, just spread the word. It's how it should be. We shouldn't be these big gut-bellied monsters. Some things on the stage, it should look lovely to look at. That's it. Video done. Rant over. Just, I hope someone can see my point.